Friday, 2 p.m. Eastern, New York. No, see, I always say New York.
You can never, you
Miami.
can take the boy out of New York. You can't take the New York out of the boy, huh?
Oh my gosh. Miami, Denver, Don. Good morning. Good afternoon.
It's great to be here. Great to be from hot cities that everybody's excited about, and maybe that's where we get some of our excitement from.
Yes.
Today, we really want to focus on how you can, well, let Mike explain it, but really communicate with people in a way that brings you value on many fronts.
Bottom line, we want to show you today. It's Message Friday. Don and I are going to put ourselves out there. It's a little scary. We're going to share our screen, pick some random person, two or three, and we're going to do a cold outreach. And when I say scary, I'm just kidding because there's no downside. Either they accept your message and they're part of your network, or they don't. That's it. It's like getting upset if the person in front of you at the ice cream shop chooses either chocolate or vanilla. What do you
Mhm.
care? They choose chocolate or vanilla. That's what they want. It doesn't matter. There's 900 million people on LinkedIn. There's 10 lifetimes worth of customers on LinkedIn. And why would you care if anyone doesn't take the action that you desire or want? Because if you're consistent and you do take action, you will attract people that want to know, like, and trust you and be part of your network. And that's what it's all about. So today, Don, you want to go first? Or how are we going to do it? You go one, I go one, or I go one,
Well,
you go.
here's what I got. I just had a sense of two things. Is you do, let's say, you do one cold outreach, right?
Yeah.
And what I want to demonstrate is one lukewarm outreach, which
Okay.
is going back to somebody who hasn't been active, who has, you want to get back to them, right? So Mike's going to show you a brand new person. I'm going to show you a brand old person, right? And I'll message to them again and I'll show you how it works. But the beauty of what I'm going to show you is how it started to make it work. Mike's going to show you how to start it. I'll show you a second step. So, Mike.
That's pretty cool. Let me get rid of our advertisement.
Okay.
A little more screen time. Okay, so here's what I'm going to do. Just came to the top of my head. I'm going to put in hashtag thought leader. Leaders, hashtag. And then not a big crew, only 1247. So that is very small, actually. But
Mm-hmm.
what I want to do is then maybe say, okay, maybe I won't do hashtag. That way, what I'll do is put it in. Maybe it's two words. See, I'm really going from scratch here. Thought leaders. Okay, let's get rid of the S. And then I'm going to go thought leader. I'm going to hit post. So this is going to bring up all the posts on LinkedIn. See, do I mean thought leaders? Yeah, look, LinkedIn's smart.
Mm-hmm.
And then what I want to do is actually put this in quotes because I want these two words to be together. I don't want a thought person, but leader. And I'm now in posts.
Mm-hmm.
And what I want to do is sort by latest. Okay, 2 minutes ago.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so let's go down. I don't know if latest is going to actually be the right thing because I want to see a post that is going to have some activity on it. So that was a miscalculation on my part because 2 seconds ago there's going to be any conversation going on. So thought leaders, um, let's go down here and let's see if we get something that is interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Anita, is excited and honored to join this amazing lineup of speakers at the 2022 World Knowledge Forum in Seoul. Look at this, speaking alongside President of
Mhm.
France,
Wow.
UK. Wow, this is pretty big. This is Heinz Riddle, chairperson, NYU Stern. That's wow. This is pretty big.
That's a heavy
So
duty.
heavy duty. Former U.S. National Security Advisor Bolton, and that Bolton's kind of quirky. That might be something to work with.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know any of these other people except they are pretty. I always speak on the applications of AI and data science. So this probably is a good person for me to reach out to, right? It's let's just pick on John Bolton. And what is he? He looks like a cartoon character, right?
Yeah. Yeah, he's got that big mustache with
That
glasses.
stash. That stash is from like who's the that TV show with the private investigator that had that stash. Good
Uh,
looking guy. All the ladies loved him.
this is like a quiz show. I don't know, but anybody out there who wants to give it a shot.
Let's see if anyone can. Oh, what in the world was his name? He was like big guy and his brown big stash. Let's see.
Oh, Cannon?
No. Uh, Look at this. Jerome Bailey, can you get a copy of this? You got a meeting? I'll make you a deal. We'll give you a copy of this if you can tell us who this TV star was. All right, so we're gonna go here. Anindya Goze, NYU. So now we're going to go here, and I'm going to do this. Connect. Always hit connect, and always hit add a note.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, but I screwed up. All right, so hold on a second. This is always something that I forget to do, but we're going to go back because I need this first part. You need a little bit of the data, right? So you want to be able to connect. Excited honor to join this amazing speakers at the 2022 World Knowledge Forum in Seoul. So I just need to put this on a.
Uh-huh.
I'm going to put it over here so I can cut and paste that. And I'm going to go and we're going to pick on Bolton.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to paste that over here. So I've got some of the data because you want to have, you're going to go to this person. This is a pretty big person.
Mm-hmm.
And you want to at least put a little bit of effort in. So they're like, okay, that's interesting. And they put effort in. Who knows if you'll get it, but you don't care. Like this would be an ideal person client for me. So you got to do it with an ideal person client because you want to do this for a reason. We always talk about that with business, right? So you
Mm-hmm.
want to pick a keyword that is going to find people that you want to do business with, like I did. So that thought leadership is good for me because everyone that wants to be a thought leader wants 1 million views on LinkedIn, and they want us to teach them how to create that thought leadership position and own it. So that's why I put it in. But if you're going after dentists, you put dentists in. If you're going after attorneys, whatever it might be. All right, now I'm going to put in the first name, Andya, and I'm going to do this. Capitals, congrats.
Mm-hmm.
And now I'm just going to go back to my cut and paste. All right, there we go. Ow. Do you have your talk ready? Now watch this. Now I got 165 characters left. I remember from when I love AI.
Mm-hmm.
And I use it If you want to practice your talk with me as your audience, let me know.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So it goes along our philosophy of acknowledging greatness, because you can find greatness in everybody, and then serving, right? Did I not say anything about me or anything I need, right?
Mm-hmm.
So now I need to,
Well, let me share really quickly the elements that I think most people can remember. If you start out with gratitude, right? First thing is
yes,
gratitude, right? Thank you for something you did, right? Whatever it is. Thank you for bringing this article to my attention. I think it has tremendous relevance, and I align with it, right? And then I could say, based on this, I checked out your profile and was just totally impressed with your last article that related to this. So now in other words, you're building up to it to show how you got to the point of contacting them and your intention in the contact. And like Mike says, it's all about gratitude, compliment, support, and want to continue to support and promote you. And by the way, let's connect, right? So the whole idea, this is a connection request.
yeah. So let me just hit send,
Uh-huh.
and then we'll go back to you, because maybe in the time that we send this, we might actually even get
A
something to come
response.
back. Yeah. Yeah, and so breaking it down, Don, is perfect, right? And that's what we talk about. We're doing business on LinkedIn, so you need the ideal customer first. Two, I mean, this is your and I philosophy. Acknowledge their greatness. Show that you invested something in them, either an article or something that they've done or accomplishment or something, and then say it would be awesome to connect. That's your starting point, because or if you can help them, like you said, or I offered up something that's pretty funny, right? I don't know. Maybe they don't have their speech ready, and maybe this is going to be like, oh my god, this is so cool. And then
Well,
maybe I get to listen to the person for a half hour who's going to be with the president of these countries. And if
mm-hmm.
I'm going to listen to him for a half hour and I give him my feedback on his speech that he's going with these people across the world, is my new best friend. It's
Yeah, I
a
mean,
good.
you can't beat it because here's the thing. Me and Mike talk about this in almost everything we talk about. Is if you're number one in a category over time, you're going to get top of mind awareness. Now, if this a person gets Mike's connection request and compares it to the last 50 requests he's had, Mike will be number one. I guarantee, as far as pointing things out, not selling, not just saying, let's connect. That's the difference. And here's the thing, so many people go through LinkedIn and go through life, and no one compliments them about nothing. They do great stuff, and they come home and they got trouble. They got issues, they got something. They go to work, they got issues. But when someone comes up to them and says, hey, you're doing a great job, I love your work. It was kind of funny at Mike's meeting yesterday. I got to share this. I do a lot of talking. I said, okay, let's listen for a while, right? And like 30 minutes in, Seth types, when are you going to say something already? I'm waiting to hear from you. So, anyways, I just wanted to share that. So let me go to my screen, and the idea is do for others what no one's doing for them that they'd love to have done for them. People like to get pampered, like to get attention. Someone was talking yesterday about booking speakers and having everything from soup to nuts ready for them, boom, boom, bang. So I'm going to share my screen, and I'm going to go to a lukewarm person.
It's
So,
2:22, so
okay,
let's do
I'll do,
yours,
okay,
and
I'll do mine, and then entire
then
screen.
give us the
Can you,
lukewarm
can
person.
you,
Give us the backstory on the lukewarm.
yeah, can you see it?
Yep,
Okay,
perfect.
so you see Rachel?
Yes, perfect. We see it.
Okay, So Rachel's a rock star, right? It's got 927,000 followers in Delray. Remember? And anyways, here's how we met. Nothing's happened lately. So if you look at messages, we go back and we met in April 17th, right? 2020. Hi,
2020, Don. 2020.
Yeah, 2020. So, hi, Rachel. Welcome. Great to connect. Open to supporting Claire. I focus on LinkedIn, blah, blah, blah. And anyway, she sent, after I've been, now this is, look at this. This is April, right? She gets back to me the next day because I've been supporting her and really doing great comments. This is her message.
Hi, Donald. I haven't been able to get to my LinkedIn messages fast enough, but I just saw your message and I appreciate you and all the good work that you do on LinkedIn. I've been on LinkedIn for many years, but in the last few weeks, I've gotten active on LinkedIn, and it's kind of been a shot in the dark. But it's been great. I appreciate the feedback, and I look forward to supporting you and other great LinkedIn creators and contributors.
Okay, so that's where we started, right? And this is the first time, but you see, here's the thing. To follow up when we talked about, I've been promoting her posts. I've been sharing them. I wanted to get to know her. So when I finally reached out after doing that, like we talked about, then she knew who I was, and then she actually sent me a nice message. But let's fast forward. Remember about 2 weeks ago, I pulled her up, and we decided let's have her on the show, right? So we keep going. So anyways, I sent her our show, right? And I put actually 2 shows. I said, hi, Rachel, hope all is well. I wanted to share today's LinkedIn Live that featured you with Mike Weiss at 2 p.m. Here's the link, right? Mike and I thought it would be a win-win-win opportunity if you would like to appear on our Restream LinkedIn Live Friday, that was the next week, or a more convenient Tuesday or Friday going forward. Look forward to collaborating and benefiting, right? And so really the next message is, hey, I know you don't always, whatever it is, I'm going to keep inviting her. And I think that's really the key. How do I get off of this, Mike?
I'll stop it. Hold on.
Okay. But you can see from soup to nuts, my first message was after I had already started to get to know her.
Yeah.
Right?
So I'll break down
Yeah.
what I see from Don's. So, and this is what anyone can do this. If there's somebody that's a whale that you want to get to know, then first go and visit their profile. Go and put the alarm on their LinkedIn profile. So every time they do something, you get alerted. Be the first comment. Make a like. If they reply in a comment, you reply. You automatically inject yourself. It's really weird. You're injecting yourself into their world. It's like all of a sudden I'm going through life and all of a sudden I got this guy Don sticking his nose everywhere. But smart, and he wants to give. And so that doesn't happen normally in life, right? This guy's here, he's sticking his nose. Everyone wants to stick their nose in there and they want something from you.
Yeah, but you see, that's the thing. And I want to address the point that I think is so important. When you talk about people offering things and being afraid of rejection or taking rejection the wrong way, what that is a factor of lack of appreciation of value you're bringing, right? Like Mike says, if you're given a gift, let's say you give a $100 bill, and you're just going to pick out doors that you're going to leave one on the doorstep. And if someone yells, like, "Hey, I don't want this for whatever reason," to me, it's a regift, right? There's only so many of them. So if you really believe you're bringing tremendous value, it's them who made the mistake, not you by offering it. And plus, here's the thing: you're offering something. They have an option now that wasn't there before you showed up. Whether they take it or not, you were the one who offered. right? If you say, here's a peanut butter sandwich, well, that's a nice gesture, whether you take it or not. And if someone says, hey, if you're ever hungry, I got more of these, and leaves it at that and does it for 2 months. Because here's the point, it only matters what happens after that 2 months. If nothing happens because you only did it for 2 weeks instead of 2 months, and you prejudged it, you don't know what it takes to get there until you're there. You know, if you need to get there faster, move faster. And I think that's the thing with this is you got to show more patience in the person you're dealing with. You got to outperform and out project everybody else that you can. And it's a rarefied air. And eventually, if you're good enough at getting there, you're good enough at talking, right? And providing content. And people come for your message, but they stay for you. You know, and after a while, you could say anything. If I had Mick Jagger on the phone right now and he was talking about painting, you'd have 1 million people listening, right?
Oh, God, look at this.
Mick Jagger? Wow, how did I know that?
You've never seen this before.
No.
So this is an interesting story. It was 1997 because the date's on here. I was in a bar in New York City waiting for someone. And this guy is in a bar next to me. And look at the back of this. So we belly up and have a beer and we start talking. And this is a napkin from a bar.
Mm-hmm.
And we start talking and what do you do? Da, da, da. Back then I was in Wall Street. I'm like, what do you do? He's like, you know, artist. I'm like, what do you do? Well, he's like, you know, in New York City, there's a myth that there's crocodiles in the sewer systems. It wouldn't be that hard to believe. And some people actually think it's true. And it could be true because there's plenty of rats down there for them to feed on. And if someone dropped one crocodile, or actually a pair, because you have to have mate, but I think they live for 20 or 30 years anyway, they could have a field day down there. So he has been drawing art on these napkins since the 1990s. And he said, who's your favorite band? For me, it's the Rolling Stones.
Mm-hmm.
So this is what he put together, the Rolling Stones and the crocodiles. And this is my piece of art. I just found this. And when I found it, I was like, oh, good, his name's on there. And I found the guy. He's up in Connecticut. He's into antiques and stuff like that. I reached out to him. But come to think of it, he didn't get back to me yet. So there you go. Rolling Stones.
Yeah, telepathy. How would I come up with that shit? So, anyways, it just shows you like minds think alike. And,
Yes.
You know, this is an opportunity to create an opportunity. Opportunities aren't given, they're taken, right? And if you want to make something happen, do something against what it is that you want to make. And I think what we're learning more and more, relevancy, focus, intent, impact, it's all attributes. Once you can gain patience, once you can gain the trust that it takes what it takes to do what it does, right? And you can't shortcut it, you can't accelerate it because it doesn't duplicate. The stuff we're telling you is based on common sense, but bigger than common sense is common courtesy, because that's even in rarer supply. And you know, I know Rachel, I know all these successful people. They bust their ass every day. They're always trying to outthink themselves in the competition. And they need someone to say, hey, you're doing great, keep going, right? They need a fan club. They need people to support. And you know what? They support you back because they know they didn't make it by themselves. They know what the beginning looked like. No one was born into this thing, you know? But I tell you one thing, you only got so much time. Why don't you put it into yourself, for yourself? Every time you're not working for yourself, every time you're not working for your dream, you're building somebody else's, right? Get there and then help other people. So anyways, it ain't a lecture, but it does give you context to say you got treasure wherever you touch on LinkedIn, but you got to work it, right? They give you the site, you got to dig. And how you dig wins the game. So anyways, Mike, I know we went like twice over. We should split this and make it Tuesday.
Yeah, but what I want to do is I want to leave us with, it's Friday, so everyone's in a good mood. If you don't want to stay with Don and I, you can elect to go someplace else. But we're not here. We don't have you handcuffed to your desk.
Handcuffs.
But let's do this, because I you know that we love Gary Vaynerchuk, but he's got so many amazing pieces on patience, because it's so important. And let's just hear what he has to say.
Or grown up watches this on YouTube and changes their behavior. That's intense legacy. It was from 2007 to 2011. I replied to every single email and tweet I got until 4 in the morning. Nobody knew who I was, so I would go into Twitter search wine terms, and jump into conversations that people would tweet having this Pinot Noir, and I would reply. They didn't know me, and I would reply, "That's a good one. Did you try the year before?" And slowly but surely, for hours and hours and hours, for years and years and years, I built a foundation that years and years and years later started the creation of what people see now. And meanwhile, people start a TikTok account, post 5 times, don't go viral, and they're like, this sucks. The lost art of patience and foundational. And this has a lot to do with parenting. Our parents' generation around the world, where they could, when they borrowed money from parents, but they want them. The question is, why do they want them? They want them because we're communicating to the world. Every one of us right now is wearing what we're wearing, our haircuts, everything. Communication. We're positioning ourselves to the world. I really, really think there's a lot of important conversations that are not being had. I'm trying to throw them out there. And I remember, meeting with you like a year ago. Like, I like when people see what and my hope is that if I have the courage to say stuff that people aren't talking about, then others will start doing it. Like, these are important. This is an important video. If one kid or girl.
So yes, it's so like here. I mean, here's the guy, right? And there's so many videos that he puts out like this, and we talk about this. Our venture into LinkTank was basically the same thing. I mean, here, two of us that are fairly successful starting LinkTank from zero, and it doesn't matter, because we just said that's it. We're relentless in doing it. Now we're 3 or 4 months in. I think we're averaging now, Don, between 1,200 to 1,400 views on replays each week. We started with, I don't know how many people are on here now. We've got someone here giving us a nice note. Let's bring this up. There we go. A social network like LinkedIn is a great place to connect with people you admire. But unless you communicate with them how you can benefit them, it won't do any good. You must first find out who they are, what they care about, and then let them know they ran out of room. But that's beautiful.
Well, I think what Gary says is if you can provoke thought and hopefully activity and change, and that's the thing we take for granted. Everything we're doing, we're dealing with things we can measure on our fingertips, right? If you got 5 new clients today, that would be huge. You're going against 900 million people, and hardly anybody's doing it. What I like about what Gary's doing is anybody can do what Gary's doing on LinkedIn, because LinkedIn offers the same platform to everybody, right? You can't do what Gary's doing outside of LinkedIn, because that takes organization and everything else. But what he's trying to say is everybody's got a voice. There's an ear for everybody if you got 900 million people. And my goal is not to get good, but to get, aware, get the quantity going. See how many things I can do, and then start getting better at them as I'm doing them. That's the philosophy. You're only going to get better by doing it, not by thinking about it. And that's what me and Mike are advocating is work something. If you, like Mike says, today, find a person that you had a conversation with or you're connected to, that when you connected with them or had a conversation, you were really excited. For some reason, it never continued. Reinvigorate it, right? And do it with 10 people. because half of them aren't, or 80% are going to do nothing anyways, but you get a winner, right? If you do one and lose, one and lose, one and lose, after 8 weeks, you got 8 losers. If you do 10 in one day and you get 2 winners, the 8 losers disappeared, right? Put yourself in a position where you feel like a winner until you win. Don't feel like a loser and you got to catch up and break even. And now your wife's saying, what are you killing time for? Your friends are like, you're skipping bowling to do that dumb LinkedIn stuff. Forget about it, right? You know, what Napoleon Hill said, the worst people in your life are your friends, family, and neighbors, you know, because they want to keep you where they're at. So, you know, with that said, you know, all this stuff is valuable. That's why we got the group we put together. There's not enough time. I wish there was, that we could get everything we know out there to everybody in this period and they can be successful, because we would even be more successful. But the point is, it doesn't work that way. But you can save. You know, Mike's put 3 years into this thing hard. I put 3 years into this thing hard. You don't have to. Maybe it's a year and a half, right? If you're in prison, someone says, I'll cut your sentence by 50%. Wouldn't that get you excited? You know, why don't you get to the winning circle? So anyways, we could talk forever and we will, but I know you can't listen forever and you won't. So we'll sign off here and look forward to next Tuesday, and Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom, everyone. Have a great Friday and weekend, and we will see you next week. Thanks.